Hey everybody, Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com, and I hope you're having a great week. Today I want to talk about acoustic treatment. A lot of people have been asking me about acoustic treatment. How is it relevant to me? Is it relevant to me? What do you recommend? What do you do with it? What this video is going to try to answer really quickly is, what is it? What's it not? Is it relevant to me? Do I need it? Where the heck do I put it if I have it, okay? I want to address those things really quickly. There's a lot you could talk about. A lot of it has to do with the science, the physics of sound, but I'm not that technical of a person, so I'm not going to make a very technical video. I just want to touch on the topic because it's really important to know about. You may have heard about it. You may have seen debates about it on forums. There are plenty of people that just will spend hours talking about acoustic treatment online, debating it, where people are on one side of the spectrum saying it is the holy grail of mixing. If you don't treat your room, you are a fool. And then you have people on the other side that say it is a sham. You don't need acoustic treatment. If you spend money on it, it's a waste, although it may look cool. Okay? I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, as most things are. Nothing is a magic bullet, one-stop shop to get great mixes. Nothing is. I wish it were. If it were, then the Recording Revolution would have one post or maybe one video, and it would be, go buy this one thing, and then your mixes will sound great. But that's not true, okay? We know that's not true because you've tried it and it's not working. What makes good mixes, good recordings, is thousands of little teeny good decisions or pieces of equipment or whatever. It's a lot of steps that seem small, that seem subtle, that add up to a huge result. No one wants to hear that, but it's true, okay? What I want to talk about is acoustic treatment because it's relevant to your room. What's most important is not just the treatment we're talking about, but your room, the space that you're sitting in right now, the space that you're mixing in, the space I'm sitting in. The way it sounds, it has a sound. Do you know that it has a sound? Your room affects what you hear out of your speakers. It plays a part in what you think you're hearing out of your speakers. It colors every decision you make. Not to scare you, not to depress you, but it's just the truth of the matter. Where you mix matters. If you haven't, I wrote a post on it this week called Where You Mix Matters, Why Where You Mix Matters. Go read it. Go to therecordingrevolution.com right now, pause the video, pick up the post, read it for a second. You'll get a better understanding of what's preempting this discussion. The problem is we just ignore the sound of our room, or we assume what we don't like, what sounds bad to us, the troubles we're having with mixing, we assume it's because of our speakers or our converters. But it may just be that your room is contributing something negative to your sound, making mixing more challenging. Acoustic treatment in its design is meant to reduce reflections, not completely soundproof your room. It's not soundproofing material, okay? Acoustic treatment, like what's on the wall behind me, that will not stop all the noise of the world from getting inside my room. And it will not stop all the musical noise I make in here from getting outside my room. So don't expect it to. It really is not meant to do that. You need to build walls within walls, floating floors, floating ceilings, do it upright like a real studio does. That takes a lot more work and money. That's how you soundproof a room. More stuff in between the walls, things that are just going to stop sound from even getting in. That's not what we're getting at. What we want to do is change the sound of your room, tune the sound of your room, tighten up some of those reflections. That will help you mix better. That will give you a drier sounding room. If you go into a room and you clap and it kind of has that high pitch ring to it, that is the sound of your room. That's going to be blended in with everything you hear out of your speakers. Acoustic treatment, if properly placed, can reduce that. So when you clap, loud noise, whatever, it's just dead, a lot more dead. I can get a really dead sound in this room and maybe 50% of the reflective surfaces are covered in my room, okay? You don't need to even cover everything. That's another misnomer. So what we're trying to do is tighten up the sound. How do you do that? Panels like this. It's the same thing that's on the back of my wall. It's around my room. These are from Arlex. These are 2 foot by 2 foot absorption panels, okay? There's things called absorptive materials, diffusing materials. They do 2 different things, but most of us are going to benefit from some sort of absorption, something that will literally absorb or soak up the sound, okay? A little bit of this around your room is going to make a huge difference because it will remove a lot of the standing sound in your room. How much do you need? Not a ton. It generally depends on how much you can afford and how big your room is, okay? If you have a small space, if you have a small room, you don't need much treatment. I don't really care what people tell you. You don't need much, okay? In my previous room, I just recently moved, set up this whole spot. My previous mixing room was a bit smaller than this. I had maybe half the treatment in that room that I have in this room, okay? What you want to focus on is your mixing position. Where you sit, where I'm sitting right now, the two big areas that you want to hit are directly to the right and left of you on those walls. You want to cover those walls with something. If you've got panels, those Auralex panels, do it. Cover them. Those areas are where sound from your speakers are going to hit directly and bounce straight into your ear. It's one of the most annoying areas and one of the best places you can treat. If you can only treat one spot, go to the exact left, right of your ears, your mixing position, cover it up at about ear level with some panels. That'll do wonders because that's going to tighten up and focus the sound of your speakers, okay? What I like to do is I like these panels because they're pretty cheap and they're really lightweight and they're built to do one thing only, and that's absorb sound. You can hang them real light. You don't have to tear up your walls. If you don't have panels, if you don't have acoustic treatment, you can do a couple things. If you have furniture that has tapestry or if it's got fabric or bookshelves that have big books in them, those things can soak up sound too. If those are placed directly to the right and left, I don't really know if you can take a mattress. If you have a really ugly room and you don't really care what it looks like, you can straight take a mattress, put it up on the walls to the left and right. That'll soak up some sound. It's going to look really dumb, but your mixes might sound a lot better. Who really cares? The stuff in your room is going to make a difference. What you've got sitting around your room might be soaking up sound in general, even if it's not blocking off a wall. If you have stuff on the walls, like picture frames, mirrors, that kind of stuff, that's going to reflect more sound. You want to get rid of those, okay? Again, you want to do whatever it takes to tighten up the sound of your room. Start with a few panels or some made-up treatment. Again, big old thick blankets. All that kind of stuff can help, but I'll tell you, when it comes to foam, get something that's made for sound absorption. It's just so much easier. It actually works better. If you've done some do-it-yourself stuff with like egg carton foam or just fiberglass stuff that you just bought from a store that you think is made to do what this is meant to do, it really doesn't work as well, and you might just waste your time or you might get frustrated. If you're very DIY and you like to do it yourself, then be my guest. Do the research on the type of materials that this stuff is made out of, and you might be able to save some money and do it yourself. I don't have the time for that. I don't have the patience for that. But what you can do is get started with a kit for like $100, $150 US. You can actually treat your main mixing spot, and that's probably way easier and cheaper than you might think. In a video upcoming, I want to talk about some of the kits and some of the things that are easy to do. But what I want to talk about today is absorption in general, why acoustic treatment is helpful. And here's what it's going to do. It's going to help you get better sound out of your speakers. It's going to help you make decisions easier in your mix. You're not going to be fighting whether it's overcompensating for the bass or the high frequencies in your room. No matter what, you're going to have to learn your room. No matter what, you're going to have weird things happening in your room. You're going to have to understand that what you do here doesn't 100% translate out there. You're going to have to understand that. What acoustic treatment will do is speed up the mixing process, make your life a little bit easier. And with all this discussion about, I don't want treatment, I don't need treatment, it's a waste of money, what I don't understand is how people won't drop $200 when they're getting serious about their studio on acoustic treatment, but they'll drop $500 or $300 on a microphone. Why in the world would you spend that kind of money on a microphone if you already have like a $100 microphone? You don't need that. Or if it's a mixing decision, they'll say, I really need a nice mixing plug-in bundle. That's what the pros use. I need to upgrade my plugins from your stock plugins. What a waste of money if you're pitting that versus acoustic treatment. Buying plugins isn't a waste if you know what you need and it does something that will really help your mix. But what I'm saying is people will be quick to jump on, say, acoustic treatment is a waste of your money. But they'll be the same people asking on Gear Sluts or something, hey, please recommend the best plug-in bundle for $300 or the best, cheapest DA converters under $500 or the best studio monitors that are $600 a pair. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. You will get further in your mixing. You will get better tracks if you would instead take some of that money and divert it to acoustic treatment. People don't want to because A, it's not a fun toy, I get that. B, it seems sort of mystical. It's not really something new you can start to use. But trust me, if you do it, it makes a difference. If you've already got your basic home studio, you have your one microphone, you've got some basic studio monitors that you're working out of, you've got your stock plugins in your DAW, you're starting to make music, you're wondering what do you need next. If you're thinking about making an upgrade to your studio and you haven't done some basic acoustic treatment, do yourself a favor. Don't jump to the extra gear. That's not going to help you nearly as fast as some simple treatment will do, okay? Check out companies like RLX. They pretty much do nothing but this. There's other companies out there that make foam. Find something that's in your budget. Treat the sides of your studio left and right. You're going to start to make a difference. And then in another video, I'm going to show you some other stuff to consider about where you can put other things, sort of advanced acoustic treatment thoughts and ideas, but at least get started in that direction. It'll be time and money well spent. I've done it in my last 2 studios. I'll continue to do it. There's a reason why the pros do it. But find it in your budget. Get over the fact that it's not exciting. It is going to help your sound, trust me. But again, is this going to make you a better mixer right out of the bat? No, you still have to get better at mixing. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. I hope that helps. Again, this is Graham at therecordingrevolution.com. If you're not on the blog, if you're just watching this on YouTube or Facebook, be on the blog, especially this week. All these posts are going to be room, sound, acoustic treatment, related type of posts. I'm trying to do this, a 2-week wave of getting some stuff out on that topic. So it'll all go together and hopefully will help you in your setup with your current gear, getting a better sound out of your studio. Talk to you guys soon. We'll see you in another video.